Evolution of Financial Education for U.S. Pro Athletes, 2000, present. Over the past 2 decades, major U.S. sports leagues have dramatically increased player compensation, but also grappled with ensuring athletes manage their wealth wisely. The average careers in sports are short, around 3 to 5 years in NFL, NBA, and MLB, meaning athletes must stretch earnings over a lifetime. Early 2000s saw widespread reports of pro athletes going bankrupt at alarming rates. In response, leagues and players' unions ramped up financial literacy programs and partnered with reputable finance professionals to reverse these trends. Today, a new generation of players benefits from better financial education and access to professional advisors, leading to more athletes establishing stable financial futures and successfully launching business ventures beyond their playing days. The sections below examine this evolution in 5 periods, each summarizing major developments and illustrating the changing landscape with representative examples. Landscape 2000 to 2005, big money arrives, early way-up calls, and nascent protections. Key context: in the early 2000s, athlete incomes surged to unprecedented levels. New broadcast deals and endorsement opportunities meant many young players earned more in a few years than most people do in a lifetime. For example, a record-breaking $252 million baseball contract in 2001 shocked the sports world, illustrating that players could quickly become ultra-high net worth individuals, UCHNWIs. However, this era was marked by minimal formal financial education in place and limited support structures. The result: numerous athletes fell into financial trouble soon after retirement, revealing a pressing need for better financial literacy. Complex institutional support beginnings. Early in this period, leagues and unions only had rudimentary programs to guide players. The NBA's Rookie Transition Program was in place, having started in the 1980s, to introduce lifestyle and financial basics to new players, and the NFL ran a rookie symposium covering life skills. But these programs were relatively brief and had not yet evolved into comprehensive financial training. Financial literacy content was limited and often focused on scare tactics, like cautionary tales of broke ex-players, without robust follow-up or personalized guidance. Players' associations were only just starting to acknowledge the scale of the problem. For instance, by 2002, the NFLPA launched its Financial Advisor Registration Program, establishing a vetted pool of financial advisors to combat rampant fraud after at least 78 NFL players lost a collective $42 million in sketchy investments from 1999 to 2002. This was one of the first structural steps to protect players from predatory advisors. Still, other leagues, MLB, NBA, NHL, WNBA, had no equivalent advisor vetting programs yet, leaving many athletes reliant on personal networks or unverified business managers. The score: complex. +1. Wikipedia. +1. Access to advisors and tax planning. In this early 2000s window, access to professional financial planners and accountants was inconsistent. Some star athletes leveraged established wealth managers, but many entrusted their finances to unqualified friends or unscrupulous financial gurus, often with disastrous results. Awareness of specialized sports wealth management was low. It was more common for athletes to be targeted by questionable investment schemes than to benefit from sophisticated tax planning. For example, research by financial academics noted that many young pros lacked even basic budgeting skills and fell victim to over-optimistic beliefs about career length and perpetual income. Wikipedia. +1. Fleck. +1. Outcomes and trends. Sadly, financial distress among athletes remained pervasive during 2000 to 2005. No comprehensive data was published at the time, but anecdotal evidence and later reports suggest a majority of retiring players struggled financially within a few years. Extravagant spending, large entourages, and poor investment decisions were common pitfalls. Despite rising salaries, players across leagues, men and women, were rarely prepared to manage sudden wealth. High-profile financial collapses began to make headlines, underscoring the problem. For instance, Boxing champion Mike Tyson declared bankruptcy in 2003 after earning $400 million. And WNBA superstar Sheryl Swoopes lost most of her $50 million career earnings and filed bankruptcy in 2004 due to mismanagement and trusting the wrong people. These cautionary tales, though extreme, put a spotlight on the urgent need for better financial education. CNBC. +1. Wikipedia. Illustrative examples, 2000 to 2005. Cautionary tale. Kenny Anderson, NBA. This former All-Star point guard ended his career in 2005 broke, having exhausted the $63 million he earned over 14 seasons. Anderson's experience highlights how even multi-million-dollar earnings could vanish quickly without financial planning, catalyzing calls for better athlete financial literacy. Wikipedia. +1. Institutional response. NFL advisor scandals. A string of fraudulent investment schemes in the early 2000s, including Kirk Wright's hedge fund scam that cost 7 NFL players $20 million, prompted the NFLPA's 2002 creation of a financial advisor registration program to vet and certify advisors, a pioneering step in athlete financial protection. Wikipedia. Wikipedia. +1. Entrepreneurial role model. Magic Johnson, NBA. Although he retired in 1996, by the early 2000s Magic's burgeoning Magic Johnson Enterprises, from movie theaters to Starbucks franchises, was showcasing how a former athlete could thrive in business. His success story inspired younger athletes to view financial management and entrepreneurship as part of a long-term game plan, not an afterthought. Wikipedia. 2005 to 2010, Rude Awakenings, Growing Awareness and Expanded Education. Key context. By the late 2000s, the scale of athlete financial troubles became widely publicized, spurring broader awareness and dialogue. Player salaries continued climbing, but so did evidence of chronic money issues post-retirement. The 2008 financial crisis served as a reality check. It wiped out risky investments held by some athletes, emphasizing the need for conservative planning. High-profile bankruptcies, including Lenny Dykstra, MLB, in 2009 and Antoine Walker, NBA, in 2010, were cautionary symbols of the era. As more athletes formally retired from the big money generation of the 1990s and 2000s, stark statistics emerged about their finances. Wikipedia. +1. Institutional evolution. Players' associations and leagues ramped up financial education efforts in response. The NFL and NBA both bolstered their rookie programs with heavier emphasis on finances and life skills. By 2007 to 2009, the NBA Players Association, NBPA, recognized the financial insecurity players faced. A union official revealed 60% of former players were broke within 5 years. The NBPA collaborated with the NBA to intensify the rookie transition program. New draftees attended seminars covering budgeting, taxes, and lifestyle adjustments. In these years, the tone remained one of scared straight caution. Rookies at these programs were confronted with sobering presentations. At one session they chanted, "I don't want to go broke," and studied alarming child support cost charts. The aim was to shock young players into taking finances seriously, albeit through fear-based lessons. Wikipedia. The score. +1. Increased advisory access. While the NFLPA's advisor registry was still relatively new, more players began seeking professional financial advice during this period, though with mixed results. Some teams brought in bankers and accountants to speak at training camps or voluntary workshops. Proactive players started assembling personal finance teams, often including certified financial planners or accountants. However, oversight was uneven. Many athletes still hired financial managers based on trust rather than qualifications. Crucially, new collective bargaining agreements, such as the NFL's 2006 CBA, increased player benefits and pension contributions, modestly improving the safety net available to retirees. Wikipedia. +1. Data and outcomes. The tail end of this period brought the first rigorous data on athlete finances. In March 2009, Sports Illustrated published a bombshell report estimating 78% of NFL players were bankrupt or under financial stress within 2 years of retirement, and 60% of NBA players went broke within 5 years. These figures, although later debated, grabbed headlines and validated what many suspected: too many athletes were failing financially after their careers. This exposure was pivotal. It galvanized both the media and sports organizations to invest more in financial literacy. Notably, some players themselves began speaking out about these issues. For instance, retired NFL star Warrick Dunn, who started his career in 1997, and others advocated for better financial planning for athletes, while ex-NFL players like Brian Mitchell publicly urged rookies not to repeat their generation's mistakes. By 2010, there was a growing consensus that financial education must become a core part of athlete development, just as vital as physical training. CNBC. +1. Illustrative examples, 2005 to 2010. High-profile bankruptcy. Antoine Walker, NBA. The former NBA All-Star, who earned $108 million during his career, declared bankruptcy in 2010. Walker's collapse, due to lavish spending and failed real estate deals, made him a regular speaker at NBA rookie programs, turning his story into a cautionary lesson for younger players. Wikipedia. Complex. +1. League and Union Initiative. NFL and NCAA financial workshops. By the late 2000s, the NFL expanded off-season financial education programs, including collaborations with top business schools, e.g. a business management and entrepreneurial program at Wharton/Harvard, to teach players about investing and starting businesses. The NCAA also began discussing student-athlete financial literacy, laying groundwork for later NIL-related education. Wikipedia. Headline Stat Shock. The 2009 Sports Illustrated Athletes Going Broke article by Pablo S. Torre, widely cited across ESPN, CNBC, and other media, vividly exposed the extent of athlete financial woes. This wake-up call spurred leagues to take further action and has since become a reference point for why stronger financial planning is crucial in sports. CNBC. 2010 to 2015, Reforms, Research, and the Rise of the Savvier Athlete. Key context. Entering the 2010s, notable changes in athlete support systems were underway. The era saw collective bargaining agreements, CBAs, in the NFL 2011 and NBA 2011 that not only adjusted salary distribution but included provisions for player development and post-career support. Salaries continued to skyrocket. For instance, by 2014, the NBA's salary cap jumped over 30% due to a lucrative TV deal, pushing player incomes higher than ever. With more players crossing the $100 million career earnings threshold, the stakes for managing wealth were enormous. Institutional evolution. In this period, financial education programs became more structured and proactive. The NFLPA's landmark 2011 CBA negotiations established new resources for player transitions. Notably, in 2013, the NFLPA launched the Trust, a comprehensive support system for recently retired players focusing on career, health, and financial mentoring. This expanded on earlier initiatives by providing personalized counseling on financial planning, continuing education, and entrepreneurship for ex-players. The NBA and NBPA continued refining the rookie transition program, and by the mid-2010s the curriculum added more interactive sessions on wealth management, contract taxes, jock taxes, and resisting unhealthy financial pressures. Complex. +1. Advisor access and industry engagement. Major financial institutions began targeting athletes as clients during this era, enhancing access to qualified advice. Big banks launched dedicated sports wealth divisions, e.g., Morgan Stanley's Global Sports and Entertainment Group, established in the mid-2010s, and Merrill Lynch's Sports Advisory Team, which recognized athletes' unique requirements. The NFLPA's advisor program matured, and by 2014 the union was enforcing stricter advisor qualifications, e.g. requiring CFP or CFA credentials by 2017 to boost advisor quality. Players also became more willing to seek licensed professionals. A 2015 study found that among recently retired NFL players, those who consulted planners and stuck to budgets were far less likely to hit financial calamity. In short, the concept of hiring a tax advisor or financial planner became more normalized in locker rooms, though not yet universal. ML. Wikipedia. Fleck. +1. Data and outcomes. The conversation around athlete finances became increasingly data-driven. In 2015, economists from GFLC, Global Financial Literacy Excellence Center, published the first rigorous analysis of NFL retiree bankruptcies. They found that about 16% of NFL players declared bankruptcy within 12 years of retiring, a sobering figure, but far below earlier exaggerated estimates. The data showed that even star players were as likely to go bankrupt as average players if they failed to save sufficiently. Meanwhile, preliminary research on NBA retirees suggested about 6% of NBA players filed bankruptcy within 15 years post-retirement, typically around 7 years after leaving the league. These studies underscored persistent risks, but also signaled some improvement in outcomes versus prior anecdotal claims. At the same time, more athletes in the 2010 to 2015 era began capitalizing on their wealth in positive ways, launching businesses, brands, and second careers, suggesting financial literacy gains for some. Prominent players took business courses during off-seasons and consulted mentors, reflecting a shift in mindset from just don't go broke to grow your money. Fleck. Illustrative examples, 2010 to 2015. Post-career support, NFL's The Trust 2013. In 2013, the NFLPA formally launched The Trust as a holistic program to help retired players transition financially and professionally. This period saw ex-players like Andre Collins, NFLPA executive, acknowledge the difficulty of adjusting from a high NFL salary to normal income, and the Trust provided resources like career coaching, degree completion assistance, and financial counseling to ease that post-career shock. Anscape. +1. Academic research and better data. Colin Kammerer/Anna Maria Lusardi study, 2015. This landmark research quantified the financial outcomes of NFL retirees, overturning sensationalized figures. It revealed that 1 in 6 former NFL players filed for bankruptcy within 12 years, with filings often starting only 2 years post-retirement. The study's evidence-based approach shifted the narrative from tabloid anecdotes to measured understanding, helping shape smarter educational policies targeting at-risk players. Fleck. Athlete entrepreneurship blossoms. LeBron James, NBA. By his second contract, circa 2010, LeBron famously assembled a business team of seasoned professionals and longtime confidants to manage his burgeoning empire. In 2014 to 2015, he launched SpringHill Entertainment, a production company, and invested in businesses like Blaze Pizza, showcasing how a financially savvy player could parlay on-court earnings into entrepreneurial ventures. LeBron's approach, including exercising strict oversight on finances, became a model for younger stars aiming to turn athletic fame into lasting wealth, often with mentorship from players turned businessmen like Magic Johnson. Wikipedia. +1. 2015 to 2020. Professionalization and partnerships, from Don't Go Broke to Build Wealth. Key context: athlete finances came of age in the late 2010s. Player salaries and endorsements scaled new peaks. The NFL salary cap rose to $188 million by 2019, more than double mid-2000s levels. Average MLB pay hit record highs near $4 million. With so many players accumulating UCHN-W-level earnings, the culture around money began to shift. Financial success stories, all-stars smoothly transitioning into business ownership or venture investing, became as newsworthy as bankruptcy stories. Still, Warnings persisted that wealth could vanish without vigilance, keeping financial education on the front burner. Complex evolution of support. During 2015 to 2020, player development programs grew more sophisticated and collaborative. The NBA, under new leadership, Executive Director Michelle Roberts, expanded its mission to include off-court development. The NBA's Think 450 initiative launched as a commercial and innovation arm, partnering with financial institutions to bring resources to players. By 2018 to 2019, the NBA Rookie Transition Program shifted its approach, moving beyond scare tactics to emphasize skill building and positive examples. The league and union started bringing in current players with smart financial habits, like Pat Connaughton and CJ McCollum, to mentor rookies on investments, real estate, and prudent spending. Similarly, the NFL broadened its financial education, creating year-round seminars and advanced executive education programs at top business schools for interested players. Major League Baseball, MLB, and the NHL also increased their efforts. MLB's union offered online financial toolkits and expanded its player trust charity programs to include life skills training, and the NHL promoted external breakaway programs for retiring players focusing on financial planning. Complex. +1. Wikipedia. Advisor and planner access. By the late 2010s, the financial industry's support for athletes was firmly in place. The NFLPA upgraded its advisor program in 2019 to invite entire institutions, not just individuals, on board, forging official partnerships with Goldman Sachs and Bessemer Trust to provide broad-based investment management for players. In 2020, Morgan Stanley's Global Sports and Entertainment Division was named an institutional financial advisor to the NFLPA, offering players easier access to a suite of reputable advisors. Boutique advisory firms and family offices specializing in athletes also flourished as players increasingly sought specialized tax planning and investment expertise. By this time, it was common for star players to have a professional accountant, CFP, or tax attorney on retainer, sometimes even their own LLCs or family offices managing assets. Moreover, new fintech and personal finance apps began tailoring offerings to athletes. For instance, a wave of financial tech startups and athlete-owned investment funds, like NBA forward Kevin Durant's venture capital firm, launched 2017, provided tech-savvy players platforms to invest in startups and manage portfolios more transparently, as seen with NBA players investing in tech funds by late 2010s. Wikipedia. +1. Complex. Outcomes and business development. These changes coincided with a noticeable decline in catastrophic financial failures and an uptick in athlete business ventures during 2015 to 2020. While athletes still faced risks, e.g., NFL Hall of Famer Warren Sapp declared bankruptcy in 2012 amid tax and support debts, the general trend was improving. Many athletes reported feeling more prepared to handle money than their predecessors, and the conversation shifted from not going broke to proactively building lasting wealth. The narrative began highlighting players like Kobe Bryant, NBA, who launched a $100 million venture capital fund in 2016 after retirement, or Derek Jeter, MLB, who became co-owner of the Miami Marlins in 2017. Such successes signaled a cultural change. Players were increasingly leveraging financial literacy and advice to professionalize their business endeavors, whether by setting up proper legal structures, investing via registered advisors, or diversifying into real estate, tech startups, media companies, and more. Wikipedia. Illustrative examples, 2015 to 2020. Shift in education style. NBA's evolving rookie program. By 2018 to 2019, the NBA's Rookie Transition Program, run with the NBA, transformed from fear-based lectures to interactive, empowering workshops. Rookies heard success stories from veteran players who built wealth and learned to manage money responsibly. Carmelo Anthony, entering the NBA in 2003, remarked that today's players have opportunities to learn financial skills before they even come into the NBA. "I never had that. This highlights generational progress in financial prep. Complex. Plus one. Complex. Professional Advisory Partnerships, NFLPA and Morgan Stanley, 2020. The NFL Players Association, recognizing the importance of credible guidance, brought Morgan Stanley's Global Sports and Entertainment division on as an official partner in 2020. This partnership gave players streamlined access to top-tier financial advisors, wealth planning tools, and investor education, an arrangement unimaginable in the early 2000s. It signals how players' unions began treating wealth management as integral to athlete support. Athlete-turned-investor, Andre Iguodala, NBA. In this period, Golden State Warriors star Andre Iguodala became known for his tech investment savvy, building a portfolio in Silicon Valley startups and co-founding the Players Technology Summit in 2017. His success, alongside that of peers like Kevin Durant, who invested early in companies like Coinbase and Postmates, showcased a new archetype of athletes as investors/entrepreneurs, supported by financial advisors and venture mentors. This contrasted sharply with the prior era when athletes investing in complex ventures often ended in trouble. By the late 2010s, more players had the guidance to do it right. 2020, present, holistic financial literacy and a new generation of wealth builders. Key context: in the 2020s, financial education is ingrained in the culture of professional sports. The focus has expanded beyond avoiding bankruptcy. It's now about empowering athletes as stewards of multi-generational wealth and responsible business leaders. Professional athletes are making more money than ever, and even college athletes can earn income through new name, image, and likeness, NIL, rights, prompting financial literacy efforts at younger ages. The COVID-19 pandemic, 2020, and subsequent economic shifts also reminded athletes of income volatility, reinforcing prudent money management. Institutional evolution. Modern financial education for athletes is now multifaceted, continuous, and often personalized. Leagues and unions have forged deep partnerships with financial firms to deliver year-round training. For example, in 2026, the WNBPA partnered with JP Morgan Chase in a multi-year deal to provide customized financial education at all career stages: rookie orientation, mid-career, pre-retirement. For WNBA players, the first comprehensive program of its kind in women's sports. The NFL, NBA, and MLB all have integrated financial counseling into their player development departments. Workshops on budgeting, credit, taxes, and investing are now routine at seasonal meetings, all-star events, and rookie camps. Peer mentorship has also expanded. Current and former players share experiences in panels and via union content. For instance, the NBPA's 2020 Money Moves series featuring players like Spencer Dinwiddie offering tips on setting financial goals. Beyond league initiatives, external nonprofits and businesses have stepped up. Organizations like Athletes for Hope and financial literacy startups now produce content aimed at athletes' needs. There's a growing recognition that financial literacy is a lifelong process, not a one-off training. Chase. Plus one. Advisory services and planning. Athletes today enjoy unprecedented access to professional financial services. All major unions maintain approved lists of financial advisors, and some, like the NFLPA, even require agents to recommend only vetted advisors. Corporate sponsors have also become stakeholders in athlete financial health. Since 2022 to 2023, U.S. Bank, a WNBA chain maker sponsor, created a financial literacy program for all WNBA players, offering an online portal and free one-on-one financial advising sessions for the entire league. Similarly, JP Morgan Chase formed an Athlete Center of Excellence and an Athlete Advisory Council, 2026, featuring sports legends, to guide specialized wealth management solutions for athletes at each career stage. These partnerships indicate that financial planning for athletes is now mainstream. Top banks actively compete to serve players. Additionally, fintech apps tailored to athlete needs, budgeting for irregular income, planning for early retirement, etc., are more common. For example, Companies like Goalsetter have collaborated with the NBA and WNBA to promote financial literacy for young athletes and fans. Overall, tax planning, investment management, and business advisory services are more readily available than ever to those in pro sports. Wikipedia. +1. Fox Business. +1. Chase. Outcomes and business trends. Early evidence suggests these efforts are bearing fruit. Many franchise owners and league executives have noted a decline in severe financial scandals among active players in recent years, potentially reflecting better support. Meanwhile, the number of athletes who become successful entrepreneurs and investors post-career has surged, bolstering the league's images. Players from this era, from NFL quarterbacks launching venture funds to WNBA stars becoming team owners, demonstrate that today's pros are better equipped to preserve and grow wealth. A 2025 survey of 159 young athletes found that 80% rated their financial literacy as good/excellent, and nearly 90% actively want expert financial guidance. Current players are also advocating for financial literacy at all levels. For example, retired NBA champion Tristan Thompson and others have publicly called for NCAA and pro teams to teach money management to athletes entering the new NIL era. This cultural shift, emphasizing responsible wealth stewardship, is now seen as beneficial not just for players, but for the long-term health and credibility of sports leagues. Financially secure athletes are less likely to experience post-career crises that reflect poorly on their leagues, and many are reinvesting in their sports as coaches, executives, team owners, or league partners, creating a virtuous cycle of stability and growth. ML. +1. Illustrative examples, 2020, present. Women's sports progress. Nafisa Collier, WNBA. In 2023, Minnesota Lynx star Nafisa Collier praised a new WNBA, U.S. Bank financial literacy program that provides all 144 WNBA players with tailored money management resources. Collier noted that learning to handle sudden wealth is so important, especially since players' careers and earning windows are limited. The WNBA's initiative shows financial education now extends across gender and league, a big step forward from the early 2000s when female players had little financial support. Fox Business. +1. Athlete turned owner, Magic Johnson and the Lakers/Dodgers, having exemplified athlete entrepreneurship for decades. Magic Johnson became a minority owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers in 2012 and recently joined an NFL ownership group, Washington Commanders, 2023. Magic's journey, leveraging sports earnings to become a major sports franchise owner, reflects how financially educated players can reinvest in their leagues, enhancing the league's credibility and community impact. Crossover into business. Patrick Mahomes, NFL. After signing a record $503 million contract in 2020, the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback has carefully structured his finances and endorsements for the long term. Mahomes consulted financial planners to secure his family's future and then diversified into ventures like partial ownership of sports teams, MLS's Sporting KC and NWSL's KC Current. His example demonstrates that even the youngest superstars are thinking like business owners, using expert advice to transform short-term earnings into enduring assets, a hallmark of this era. Wikipedia. +1. Evolution at a glance. The table below summarizes how athlete financial education and outcomes have progressed in each period. Period player earnings and UCHNW potential financial education and support access to advisors and services risks and outcomes. 2000 to 2005 exploding salaries, first $200 million plus contracts, huge endorsements. Many young players become instant millionaires. Complex. Minimal formal programs, basic rookie orientation, NFLPA starts financial advisor registry in 2002. Wikipedia. +1. Focus on scarce stories, little ongoing support. Few athletes using qualified financial planners, widespread reliance on friends or unvetted handlers. Wikipedia. Limited union oversight beyond NFL's new registry. Frequent bankruptcies and financial distress soon after retirement. Rumored majority of ex-players affected. CNBC. Some early business success stories, e.g. Magic Johnson, but overshadowed by cautionary tales. 2005 to 2010 continued growth in pay and endorsements. Incomes double from 1990s levels. 2008 financial crisis highlights vulnerability of athlete wealth. Leagues/unions intensify efforts. NBA and NFL expand rookie financial training. The Score. Focus still on don't go broke messaging. Introduction of league-run business/entrepreneurship programs at universities. Wikipedia. Gradual increase in players hiring professional advisors. Though advisor quality is uneven, some high-profile fraud cases persist. Wikipedia. +1. Unions begin recommending advisors, but no coordinated multi-league strategy yet. High-profile bankruptcy cases, e.g. Antoine Walker 2010. Wikipedia. Spur media scrutiny. Sports Illustrated 2009 estimates 60 to 78% of ex-NBA/NFL players face serious financial stress. CNBC. Catalyzing public and institutional response. 2010 to 2015 salaries skyrocket with new TV deals, e.g. NBA salary cap jumps 34% in 2014. More players sign $100 million plus contracts across NFL, NBA, MLB. Post-career support emerges. NFLPA's The Trust, 2013, supports retired players with financial coaching. NPA and others emphasize continuous education. Rookie programs become more comprehensive. Advisor access mainstreamed. NFLPA requires advisor credentials and encourages consultation. Wikipedia. Big banks create sports wealth desks. More stars consult CPAs and CFPs. Unions push players to invest in pensions, insurance, and degree completion programs. Measured improvement in outcomes. Rigorous studies show 16% of NFL players filing bankruptcy within 12 years versus 1.9% after 2 years. Fleck. +1. Indicating better, but not perfect, planning. Early adopters show success in business, e.g., Michael Jordan buys NBA team in 2010. Wikipedia. Kobe Bryant co-founds a VC fund in 2014. 2015 to 2020 peak earning era. Numerous athletes become UChenWIs. E.g., MLB average salary reaches $4 million plus. NFL and NBA stars routinely sign $200 million plus deals. Unions form strategic partnerships with financial institutions. NBPA engages players via Think 450. Leagues embed financial training at All-Star/Pro Bowl events. Chase. Education shifts to empowerment and peer mentoring, not just warnings. Complex. Advisor networks deeply integrated. NFLPA invites elite firms, Goldman, Morgan Stanley, to advisor program. Wikipedia. +1. Athletes increasingly set up family offices/LLCs for wealth management. Personalized tax and estate planning becomes common for stars. Fewer horror stories, more success stories. Still some cases of mismanagement. Warren Sapp 2012, Jack Clark 2018. Wikipedia. +1. But many players retire financially secure. Athlete entrepreneurship rises. Players launch media companies, e.g., LeBron Springhill in 2015, tech investments, KD's 35 Ventures, and smaller businesses, benefiting their league's images. 2020, present player pay at all-time highs, multiple $300 million to $500 million contracts signed in MLB/NFL. College athlete nil money adds to early wealth potential. Holistic financial literacy, year-round training at all career stages. Chase. First comprehensive female athlete programs, WNBPA, Chase 2026. Chase. Emphasis on building generational wealth, business skills, financial wellness, mental and emotional aspects. Institutionalized support. Every major league now has formal financial education and vetted advisor access for players. Sponsors like US Bank and Chase provide free advising for WNBA and youth athletes. Fox Business. Plus one. Athletes' own demand for expertise is high, 88% want an advisor. ML. Stronger financial footing. Early data and anecdotal reports show improved savings/investing habits among young athletes, e.g., 36% of earnings saved. ML. Plus one. Many players segue into stable post-sport careers, investments, or ownership roles, bolstering league stability and inspiring the next generation to handle finances responsibly. Overall, financial education for American pro athletes has come a long way since the early 2000s. Leagues and unions have learned from past failures and built increasingly robust programs to equip athletes with life skills in money management. Access to qualified accountants, tax advisors, and investment planners is far better now, in many cases baked into the support structure around teams and player unions. The result is a generation of athletes that, while still susceptible to financial pitfalls, is far better prepared to handle wealth. Many current stars are not only staying solvent, but also thriving, converting playing earnings into business success, community investment, and in some cases ownership stakes that keep them involved in their sports. The transformation from going broke to building a legacy is underway, and it's strengthening both athletes' lives and the leagues they represent.